So a lot of times, especially in this day and age, you hear the phrase, you're a wannabe. A lot of people will just affirm your doubts in yourself because obviously you have those doubts. You're just trying something. It's a dumb thing to say to someone, like, why wouldn't I want to be better? Because I am a wannabe. I want to be that person that succeeds. I'd never even shot a bow until 2017, and I almost didn't even buy the bow because as the guy was setting up the bow, he kept affirming doubts about hunting, about how hard it was, how he'd been hunting for 10 years and never even got a shot at an animal. But I was like, well, I'll give it a shot. Didn't know jack shit about what I was doing. I remember Shelby saying, well, like, let me try to bugle. And I was like, all right, I mean, it's kind of hard, but whatever. And then all of a sudden, Shelby's eyes, they just get big. And she's like, no, there's an elk right behind you. And this 6x6 bull elk must have thought we were a dying cow elk or something. Right behind this like little 6-inch tree. Me being a dumbass, I grab my bow and I knock an arrow. I let an arrow fly, and sure as shit, it just stuck that tree right in front of that elk, and he looked at it and then just walked off. Basically, I go to that spot all the time, and when I see that first arrow I ever flung at an elk in that tree, it's almost like a mental humbling reset to realize, like, hey, I failed then, I'm gonna fail today, I'm gonna fail tomorrow, but that's no reason to give up. If I can do that and have an opportunity, if I work harder, I can have even more opportunities. I wanted to succeed so bad. If I had 30 minutes of daylight after driving an hour up the mountain, I was going hunting. Like I said, I started watching YouTube videos left and right. And I realized after that first year, I was like, man, I need to be in shape. So I think running kind of just ties into every other aspect of your life. Like, hey, if I could run a mile, I can hike a mile in the mountains. And the farther you go, you realize the more potential you have to succeed in other things. I had friends that shot Hoyt. I knew that it was like a higher end bow, the one that I wanted. I had to save up a long time, and so I decided to go with their flagship bow that year. I knew going into that season, it's like, I can't blame my equipment. If I'm gonna fail, it's gonna be 100% on me. I got home pretty late from work. One of those things is like, well, maybe I'll go tonight. I was kind of dragging my feet. If I go, I'm only gonna have like 20 minutes of daylight. I had like all these things tell me like not to go. Literally 15 minutes before the sun went down, I had an elk come in and I was able to get an arrow in him, and he went down and I was able to be successful. I don't think you could really even describe it. It almost like happens, and then you don't even realize it happens until after the fact. And then as you walk up upon that animal and you realize that you did just take this animal's life and you have that connection with it, those thoughts that you put into your head, other people put into your head, the thoughts of doubt and failure. It sounds kind of corny, but you almost like share those feelings with that animal that you just took. It's kind of like a spiritual connection that I don't think people could ever come close to that experience without actually doing it. Even though I've had a couple successful hunts, that next year doesn't mean anything. That next year you have a tag in your pocket. It's not filled yet. So you almost have to like reset your mind. I'm back at square one. Just gotta push that much harder to be able to fill this tag in my pocket. I know what I'm after, and I'm not gonna be satisfied until I get that.